Penix as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now Penix to the air right away. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Man coverage to start the game, and I expect we'll see a good amount of that. They trust their secondary to hold down the fort and let their pass rushers get home. And that's a good job right on play one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Penix working out of the gun here. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. Now he's loose at the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 42 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Here's Hurts to throw. And down inside the 15 he goes. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a 1st.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Penix. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And they'll send the tight end in motion. On 3rd down, Penix from the gun. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 54 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. They'll run again here with Robinson. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Robinson, he'll try the left side. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Falcons have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be stopped right there at the 31. 11 yards for number 11.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Out left to Dotson. Second and 6. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll push forward to the 37. Gain of 2. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Smith will come in motion right. They'll set up to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Give him 6 yards in the first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Leonard Floyd, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at the 15. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And it'll be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On 2nd and goal. Hurts. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up. on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jahan Dotson from 8 yards out. And the Eagles have retaken the lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Falcons ready to take over. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up. Then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done. It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now Penix. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Well, not good at all. A punt of just 24 yards there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. In motion left comes Brown. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He'll look to throw. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On the option left, it's Hurts. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Elliott good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Well, the Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On the counter, this is Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
They'll throw with Penix. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll go play action here with Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. A play fake. Now Penix. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They are going for it. Penix working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those fourth down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And looking to throw, Penix. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 20-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Right back to Pitts again. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. To the air, Penix locates Mooney on the out route. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide, usually going to pick up a holding call.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on second and goal. Looking to throw, Penix. His pass caught at the 4. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons are back within a score. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 78 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Hurts. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 13-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. A first down carry for Barkley. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. Touchdown! Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And able to get this out to the 25. And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Here's Penix. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Penix working out of the gun here. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A 1st and 10 here, and if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Checks this one down to Robinson. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
In motion goes McLeod. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half, because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
2nd down. Here's Barkley again. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 107 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Hurts going to keep it running left. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. Ray McCloud to return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Penix. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2nd and 2. Short throw caught by Pitts. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons 1st down as he'll take this down to the 44-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Second down and 4. They'll throw with Penix. That's complete to Mooney.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Back to throw again.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
Got a man, it's London.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 16. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
This is to Pitts on the quick slant. And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Throwing again, Penix.
Caught out left side by Robinson. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
And looking to throw, Penix.
And that is incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
They'll try and throw. Here's Penix.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Michael Penix.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Up the middle with Barkley.
still on his feet. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 45 yards for Saquon Barkley. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they've looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Here's McLeod from his end zone. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Looking to throw, Penix.
Throw left side complete. That's Robinson.
And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
In motion goes McLeod. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 6.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
From the shotgun, it's Penix. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons.
Darnell Mooney.
34 yards.
And the Falcons have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brown goes in motion left. Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on the offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And shedding a man at the 40. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day.
Hurts.
Open man is Goedert, the tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 3. As Smith in motion right.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Hurts. He delivers another to Goedert, complete.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
On second and goal, here's the option.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
We'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession.
And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Sidney Brown with it.
Now the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
It'll be Hurts on the option.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts.
A 4-yard touchdown scamper.
And the Eagles have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter.
He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The Falcons offense set to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's 2nd and 3. To the air, Penix. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 3rd down, Penix from the gun.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
They are going for it. Penix looking deep here for Mooney.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Barkley, inside handoff.
He'll take this to the 46.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 6.
They'll go to Barkley again. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Back to throw now on 1st down.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Hurts.
This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith on the receiving end from Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
So out come the Falcons now. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go-around. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Here's Penix. Into space at the 45.
As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Penix working out of the gun here. Over the middle, caught by London.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
Penix to the air once more. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
They'll throw with Penix.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on fourth down?
On the bootleg, it's Penix. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Got London on the slant.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.